Welcome to the Daily Beard for January 23rd, 2019. Alright, so I was thinking about what I want to talk about tonight. And last night, I have a small group of boys at my church that are now grades 10 and 11, which is 16 and 15-year-old, roughly, in that age range. I've been with them for over a year now. I had another group that I was with earlier. If you know me, you know all this already. If you don't, well, there you go. I'm a small group leader. And we were talking last night about stuff, and like we had a really good small group actually. It was small because some of the guys couldn't come because they had exams, but what we were talking about was finding your self-worth. Well, we were actually looking at Philippians 3 and 4, but one of the things we're talking about, Paul in those verses finds his worth in Christ, not in things, not in like titles and all that kind of stuff. And I talked about, there was a time when I was told straight out, like to my face, that I had no leadership ability whatsoever, that I shouldn't be a leader of anything. I was a very nice person, had no leadership skills. And so for a while, after that, it was this whole thing, I was trying to be a pastor, and I got really told by people who didn't really know me, who just didn't like me and didn't like the idea that I was going to be a pastor, and they were the ones to stop me, and they stopped me and said, you have no leadership ability, you have none of the things to be a leader. And so for a while I did no leadership stuff. And then with my first small group, I felt called that I needed to just be a leader, be like a small group leader, because it was like, oh, small group. And I did that, and there was a man named Don Palmer who was my pastor at the time. He's since moved on to another church, but I really loved Don Palmer as a pastor. Hopefully he sees this. Don, you were a great pastor. I really enjoyed having you as my pastor. And Don's son was in my group, so I was one of Don's son's leaders. His name was Phil. And I don't know how we got on this topic back in the day, long ago, but because this is like 10 years ago plus. But Don, I was talking about the fact that I'm not a leader. And Don said, well, that's not true. And he goes, do you know how I see if someone's a leader? And I said, how? And he went, if anyone's following them. Now, and I've probably said like a few times for that person that doesn't like me saying like, tough luck. Anyway, what he said was, you've been told something, and you half believe it, but you don't really believe it. And I didn't understand why, and he said, because you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. If you fully believe that you weren't a leader, you wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't, why would you possibly show up to anything and try and lead anything and bring, be a leader of teenagers and stuff and try and talk to them and help them through their daily lives and help them learn about God and all that, because that's basically what we do. And he's like, he goes, part of you believes that lie, but the real part of you doesn't, because you wouldn't be here. And he was completely right. It was something that someone said to me that didn't know me, that didn't want to know me, and it was a lie. And I bought into it for a while, but there was a part of me that didn't, because I ended up being a youth leader again. And I stopped that after a while because I got burnt out, I'll be honest. I went through a bunch of stuff, got burnt out. But still kept in contact with the guys I was leading from that time. I still do to this day. I go have lunches with them, they come over to my house for chili and poker nights. Like, I still am in contact with those same guys. And I got called back to do it again. God called me back to be a leader again, and that leads into the whole going to try to be a youth pastor thing. And that's what I'm doing. And if you've seen that in another video, there's a video saying what I want to do with my life if you haven't seen that one. But yeah, people will tell lies about you. People will tell lies about you, or they'll see you the way they want to see you because it fits what they want. A bunch of people told me I had no leadership ability because it fit their narrative, it fit what they wanted. It wasn't the truth. And thank you, Don Palmer, for reminding me of that. And it came out of nowhere last night. It just was one of those things where I literally wasn't expecting to bring it up, and it came up, and I was like, thanks, Don. That's it for today. Stay bearded.